Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2 Episode 24 Anime Review. We are quite near the end. First off, I'm going to apologise if anything goes off a little bit. I'm testing some new lights, in the process of testing some new lights. It looked fine when I was doing my tests yesterday, but if something goes wrong, I'll see it. It shouldn't be to the point where it's actually awful, but I thought I'd let you know just in case. Anyway, this episode though, it was very much an episode of two halves, and I very much enjoyed both halves, if I'm being honest. We had on the one hand, the first half, we had all the Matchy stuff, showing a completely different side of her. I'm now dead on convinced that she's the one Yuki's ending up with, by the way. It was, you know, up in the air a little bit until this week, and now this week I'm like, yeah, okay, no, it's for definite now. That's what I think anyway. And then the second half, sort of a entourage show, you know, everybody got their little bit. Not too conclusive. Oh, I mean, the Yuki thing was... Yuki has definitely come along the most, I think, in this season. Just Season 2 alone, Yuki's... Like, look at the start of Season 2, and now they're here. And look at where Yuki's got to. He's a beautiful man. Great stuff. But everyone else also shows where they're at. We saw... what's his name for the first time in ages, and I've forgotten the name. And I'm pretty good with names normally. But anyway, that was a long-ass intro. Let's get into the episode proper, see exactly how everything went down, and do this thing. So we begin with the student council asking what colour Machi likes Yuki does. He's going out of his way to, well, I mean, this is like a flashback bit it seems, but throughout this we see he's definitely going out of his way to include her in the conversation and stuff. He's being a great guy like that, good stuff. Yuki. She says something like, I am a void, because later it sort of seems like she's like, I don't have any favourite anything, I don't have a personality really, but I'm like, that's not true. And then later on I was like, that's definitely not true, considering how she acted. Again, we'll get to it with Yuki later on. Finished their final big meeting though, that's good. They're going to have a party at some place. Yuki, again, makes sure to invite Machi. She says no, because she's an antisocial one, basically. And he says like, oh, is it not the place you want to go? Would you rather go somewhere else? And basically, I guess, she doesn't have a favourite thing. She's never really thought about what she likes to do, or what she likes, what her favourite colour is, what her favourite what. So Yuki's basically making her think about this stuff, and she realises, crap, I'm pretty boring. No, that's obviously not the takeaway, but you get what I'm saying. Just wanted to see the world through our eyes. He says some proper embarrassing stuff. This episode made me realise Yuki has just turned into basic anime protagonist, but in a way that sort of works. Because normally I'd consider that a bad thing, but he's come across it so well. Like, it feels right. He's just normal dude now, if that makes sense. Which, I feel like he's earned the right to be a normal dude. But yeah, what does he say? Just want to see the world through your eyes, and then Kakuro calls him an airhead because he's like, that's so embarrassing, dude. How could you just say that with a straight face in front of people? I couldn't say that in front of people. Yuki is a bolder man than I. When I say bold, I don't mean like B-A-L-D. B-O-L-D. I didn't need to specify that. Not too sure why I did. Yuki writes the location of where they're going on paper because Machi doesn't have a phone. See, he's thinky boy, he is. He's extra considerate, and that's what you got to do, it says. At the end, as he's dicking about with Kakuro, as they like to do, he says bye to Machi, he waves at her, like, bye, see you tomorrow, I guess. To which, yeah, that happens. I do like his dicking about with Kakuro. It's very funny. And he's going to end up with his sister, ain't he? That's definitely where I think it's going. If I'm wrong, I will eat a hat on camera. I won't actually, because they're bad for your digestive system. You might be aware. The second Machi steps in the door, her mum is on the phone, basically saying, oh, you were out late, were you having a good time, what were you doing, you know, basically, why were you out so late, and she was like, I'm on the council, ma, don't bother me. Basically, I guess her mum made her be perfect at everything to beat Kakuro, and then, yeah, Kakuro lost interest, as we know. Calls her dull, she gets called dull a lot, and she's like, yeah, I am dull. She doesn't have a favourite anything, so she is dull. What else did she say? Blimmin', she's broken doll, I think, was on here somewhere. That might have been later on. That was a bit later on, but the point still stands. It's kind of heartbreaking when you think about it. She's talking about how she's not changed at all, but then she's like, but Yuki's changed. Look at him now. Because basically they were the same start point-ish. Obviously the situations were quite different, but you can definitely draw comparisons between the two, which we'll get to in a minute, especially. I mean, I'll point it out when we get there, but yeah, pretty Yuki-esque later on. She can tell that he doesn't seem lonely anymore when he's smiling with the student council and having a good old time. She can tell, hey, yeah, he's actually happy and he's evolved as a human, and I want to evolve as a human too, not to like a superhuman with a jetpack. Bit different to what I'm sure Machi is talking about, but that's, hey, you take what you can get. Despite really not wanting to, apparently, she decides to go and meet them. She has to catch a train. Honestly, it looks like a real trek to get there. For something she doesn't want to do, she's putting in a lot of effort. But yeah, as she's on their way, she doesn't get why Yuki would want to see the world in her eyes, because she's dull, as I mentioned before. Broken doll. And then she starts on about, like, am I needed in this world? And it's like, oh my god, it's very, very reminiscent of like when Yuki was a kid and was a bit, you know, he was just before he met Toru, you remember when he broke the mirror. Very reminiscent of that, I thought, and it was like, oh, he's going to help her because he's been through a similar thing. That's sort of how I see it going. Could be wrong though. She gets to the meeting spot early. Yuki's the first one there, as you would expect from Yuki. When she sees him and he says hello and all that, she falls over and drops all her stuff. She tripped over herself. Silly. I think she was trying to run away, is what it looked like. So don't run away. You know, it's just Yuki. He's not gonna do nothing. He sees a bottle opener, which she just put in her bag. I feel like there might be something there. Maybe that's me looking way too deep into it, but I feel like the bottle opener is something. But maybe it's just because it was there. What else? All her bag, books she finds. He sees the leaf that he gave her is now a bookmark, and she gets really embarrassed. Like, really embarrassed. He's happy she treasures it. She gets all blushy and shouty, and I was like, where did this personality come from? You've never shown this before. That's not your personality trait. What's going on? It was a bit unexpected, but I loved it. It was great. She acted all Sun. Kakeru shows up and is just like, do I want to know? Because they're like grappling, basically. And Yuki's like, help me, please. It was good. It was good. And she's all... I guess Kakeru would be aware of this side of her. But it's a good thing the other two didn't see, because they'd be like, what on earth? Is it the same person? Has she been kidnapped? It was a shock, and I like it. They figure out she likes red because of the red ribbon and the red thing. So I guess my guess is she does like things, but she's never thought about it, so she thinks she doesn't like things. So Yuki's going to be like, actually, no, look, you do like things. Here, I'm going to point it out for you. And that's how she's going to realise that she does like things. That's sort of how I could see it going. Again, I've not read the manga. I have no idea. But I like guessing, you know? Guessing is fun. But then towards the end, she's like, man, he's so weird. And I'm like, he's not that weird. He's one of the more normal ones, considering all the colourful characters we've met. But I guess to a normal person, Yuki would be kind of weird. Or would he? I still think he's kind of normal. Maybe that's that. But that was the end of the Matchy half of the episode. I think I liked the Matchy half more than the second half. But the second half was still good. Start out with Toru and Kyo. They go to see Shisho. I know he's got a name. It's Kazuma. But he's just Shisho, isn't he? Shisho, oh, like that. Not like that. Don't do that. I guess she's staying with him now, she says. Like, did they say for a year or just for New Year's? Like, I've written for a year, but like I feel like that's a subtitle wrong, or I just read it wrong. Who knows? I mean, people know, obviously. Because Yuki's staying at the estate for a one whole day. A good thing, too, because look at the crap that happened when he stayed just for that day. We'll get there when we get there, but yeah. Calls Kyo a beast, because he was all like, I don't trust Kyo to be alone with Toru. Basically, at this point, Yuki is so pushing them forward that he's like, Kyo, look, I'm helping you out, bro. Notice, really. Rin is also staying with Shisho. They go see her. She dodges a big old hug from Toru and is just like, why did you just charge me out of nowhere? I thought you would have pushed me out the window. Like, to be fair, reasonable fear. Obviously, Toru isn't aware. Right, I don't think she's aware of that. But still, she probably has a little bit. There's a person running towards me, and there's a window there. I'm going to move out of the way this time, you know. Definitely might have a thing. We learn that Kyo and Rin used to have stare-downs. They didn't like each other very much. We find out why later, and it's sort of adorable why when you get to it. She's not going to the banquet, obviously, because Akito was all like, I don't need you, and shoved her out of the cool kids club, I guess. Then they're thinking like, oh, that banquet's probably already started. And yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a banquet. I don't know what to call it. It's just weird. It's a weird atmosphere in the banquet when you look at it, considering everyone that's there. And by everyone, I mean one person in particular who, let's be real, we all know which person I'm talking about, don't we? To the banquet we go. We start with the one I can't remember the name of, and Ayame. Is it Ritsu? Is that his name? I can't remember. You know the one. Bothering Hattori, sorry, about a dance he did. I don't think we actually got to see it. Shigure shows up and says something about Mayu, and Hattori's like, wait a minute. And then Shigure's like, oh, foot in mouth, almost bollocksed it up, but he didn't bollocks it up. He saved it. Shigure is a man. He's got away with words, that man, doesn't he? That's for definite. That's for damn sure. What happens after that? Hattori feels indebted to Yuki, they say, because of the memory thing, which comes into play again later on. Yuki and Akito are sitting in the corner talking, apologizes to Akito. And he says Akito forgives Yuki, and then Yuki's like, I forgive you too, Akito, because Yuki's sick of blaming other people, and he's going to work on improving himself. And Akito looks scared at this point. He's like, what is that look in your eye? I am scared. And then also while it's going on, because Yuki's speech was quite nice, actually, quite a nice speech. It moved Kureno. Kureno was like, okay, I think that's going to push him forward to go and see Uo again. Now that and the DVD he gets later on, which, you know, I should have saved it till later on, but I'll say it now, why not? But yeah, then, Akito, in anger, I guess, that Yuki had character development, he takes a pot, or a jug, I don't really know what it was, and smashes Yuki over the head with it. For a second I thought he'd stabbed him with like a sharp edge, but and took out his eye. I thought we were going to have an eye patch Yuki, and like, as cool as that would be a hell of a turn. Like, Yuki just goes back like, hey guys, I've got one eye now, you know. No, that's not what happened. He just got smashed over the head with a jug, or a jar, whatever it was. And yeah, then Akito goes to his room, I guess. Kureno was the one that restrained Akito, which I thought was quite interesting. Didn't expect him to be the one to do it, you know, like physically restraining him. Maybe that's just me. I kind of considered him the whipping boy, or you know, he's number two. He's not going to go against Akito, but he did here. He was like, no, let's not do that. Yeah, apologies. Yuki says sorry, but I will never return to your side. To himself, Akito doesn't hear this, but he thinks that. He's like, no, I've grown, I've moved forward, character development, and all that stuff. Good for Yuki, but the banquet is now ruined. Yuki and Akito are those people that ruined the party by taking it a step too far. Everyone else is gutted that the traditional banquet has got to be cut short like this. I can't believe it's happened. They should apologize. No one's really bothered, if you couldn't tell. So as I said, yes, Yuki, not blind. It just cut like above his eye, like his eyebrows, so you know, he'll leave a scar probably, but hey, you still got both your eyes, and that's a good thing. He apologizes to Hattori for blaming him when the memories got erased, which is something that had to happen. But he blamed Hattori for it because as a kid, he's like, no, you didn't need to do that, you know, it's ruining my life. And then Hattori's like, thank you, you're so kind. This section is sort of just like the wrap-up. It goes to a lot of different people. Ayame shows up as a surprise, and I think he like picks Yuki up bridal style, which is kind of funny. I remember when they were like super not friends, and now Yuki and Ayame are like the best of friends. They are literally brother goals right now. Haru's also dipping. He's going to see Rin at Shisho's. Hopefully she'll talk to him this time. Probably not though. Poor Haru. Shigure is there and, you know, sees him off and says, I'm not going to go see Akito. I'm not fixing this time. It's not always up to me. After Haru goes, he says, though, he's like, God, Akito should really teach them a lesson sometime. I'm like, whose side are you on, Shigure? I just don't understand you. I mean, I think I'm going to need to do, like, an essay. You could do an essay on Shigure quite easily. You could do an essay on a lot of these characters quite easily. But Shigure is so he's like all over the place, but in a good way. He's not all over the place, but he seems all over the place. So yeah, once it's revealed, I think definitely Shigure. He's the most mysterious and he's the most interesting, I think. Kyo didn't like Rin, as we said. Why didn't he like Rin? Maybe it was some deep-seated rivalry or some, you know, from the zodiac. Nah, it's just because when she showed up, Shisho paid her attention, so he didn't pay Kyo as much attention. So it felt like Kyo was losing Shisho. He just wanted, you know, don't steal his dad, bro. And that's why they glared at each other, basically. And I thought that was sort of adorable. I was like, ah, Baby Kyo was funny. Baby Kyo was cute. Toru. What's Toru's wish going to be this year? Toru's wish is obviously for the curse to be broken and for happiness to reign. And that's nice. I hope we get a happy ending. Even a mostly happy ending, you know. But I think this seems like the type of thing that will have a happy ending. And I want a happy ending. I want everyone to be happy. What else happened? Machi gives Kureno the DVD of the play. So that'll be, you know, I think, another thing that's going to push Kureno forward out from Akito and into being his own person, sort of. Could be wrong, though. That's just what I think. And finally, Haru arrives where Rin is. She's asleep. Just in the corner, by the way. Like, lay out the blanket, at least. You know, can't be comfortable. And gives her a big old hug. But she stays asleep, doesn't see. My guess is he'll be gone before she wakes up. Like a shadow warrior. I don't know. But that was the end of the episode. I feel like this has been a longer review than normal. I'm looking over there at the time and I can't see it because I'm blind. Because it's light. Might have to do something about that. But hey, can't do anything right now. But anyway, yeah, end of the episode. What do I normally do here? Favorite part of the episode, that's it. I'm all over the place today, guys. Very sorry. But anyway, what was my favorite part of the episode? So my favorite part of the episode is, to put it, I mean, it's Tsundere Machi, or when her personality just explodes. Like, for someone so, like, quiet and demure, I think that's the right word, to just not explode like that, but just show so much emotion. And the fact that it was Yuki that brought it out of her, I think even Kakeru at some point must be to Yuki like, yo, bro, I think my sister has the hots for you. Don't, you know, do what you want, but damn it, I got to play the brother card here. But yeah, you know, I think that's for me that's a lock on at this point. For definite, I swear, should be good. This whole new personality to Matchy, as well as, you know, I think Yuki is gonna bring the personality out of her, if that makes sense. Like, she's like, oh, I'm a void. Well, Yuki's gonna not fill the void himself, but he's gonna enable her to fill the void herself with things she likes, you know, I guess through his realizing. I think that's how it's gonna go. I could be wrong though, but that's sort of how I envision it going. I'm looking forward. I'm so invested in Fruits Basket. Again, wasn't going to watch it originally back when it first started. Boy, did I make the correct decision. Anyway, though, I'm going to wrap this up because, as I said, been talking a while. For all I know, this video could be unusable, and that would be bad. Thank you, everybody, for watching this review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff. But more reviews, that would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for the... Oh my god, it's the finale next week. For the finale of Season 2 next week. I didn't even remember it was this week, if I'm being honest. Or next week. So I'll see you then. Take care. And bye, guys.